Good morning, everyone. It's been a while I'm standing in front of a crowd. Interesting, okay. So, today's theme is corso. I am sorry if I don't pronounce it correctly, but it's what Anastasia already said, a faint glimmer of hope or light. And I would like to take the interpretation of light today. And I invite you to find your inner light today with me. Now that I see it, it looks a little bit like I talk about grief, but I don't. It's the opposite. Good. The paradox of modern wellness. You might have noticed it already yourself. We live in a time where stress levels are at an all-time high. Burnout rates are higher than ever before, depression, anxiety. Despite we have so many tools nowadays, we have so much on social media, infinite content about health, self-development, and all these things we see every day on social media. We have gyms everywhere, especially here in Sweden. Everyone seems to be so healthy. That's crazy. I mean, even more than in Germany. Everyone is running. So everyone should be healthy. But it's not always the case. So I would like to explore today, why is that? Why are we more stressed than ever, despite we have more knowledge and more tools than any generation before us? To understand this, we need to go into the evolution of stressors. Because one important factor is the big difference between ancient time stressors and nowadays stressors. They have changed massively. So that is maybe also the reason why traditional tools do not work anymore. We live in a different time nowadays. In ancient times, we had more physical threats. We had real life-threatening stressors like a lion or a dinosaur or something that wanted to eat us or kill us in any case. So this triggered the typical stress response, right? Fight and flight. So that is what you usually did. You fought the lion, you killed him, or you escaped successfully, so the threat was gone. This transformed over time. Industrial times and, let's say, the past 10, 20, 30 years, we faced more psychological and psychosocial, mental problems. We were facing these type of stressors. Time pressure, so mainly coming from the outside. Time pressure, heavy workload. We were pursuing career goals. So we had a lot of problems with with the people around us. So more on the social level, the conflicts with the boss. So this were the stressors by that time. This is still the case, but not that much anymore, because exactly this created this self-developed movement, which we see the past few years. So we worked on that already. We had this work-life balance. We wanted that because we felt the heavy pressure from work. But nowadays, we have to see that this is, again, changing. So nowadays, we are facing more internal battles. Nowadays, the stressors are more emotional and existential. And this is the reason why traditional tools might not so well work anymore. So we all have learned that exercise and nutrition are the most important things in health, right? So if we just eat clean, if we just go to gym every day, we are healthy. But that's not always the case. Of course it helps, not saying that. It's nutrition and exercise are two of the most important factors in terms of health. Also in terms of mental health, of course. But what we don't do nowadays, because of this change of stressors, the overload of information, the constant being online, all this non-stop being distracted causes different problems. One of the biggest factors or reasons for that, I would say, is that we do not rest. Everyone knows it. We go to yoga classes and stuff and we think that's it. But also yoga, I have to say, you have to do it in the right way to have actually the effects. And not everyone does that. Yoga is basically mindfulness. And mindfulness is the most powerful tool in stress management. But you need to be mindful, that's what I mean. You need to be mindful and really in the moment when you do that yoga. Yoga is mindfulness in motion, basically. So that's why it's good. Not saying that. But if you do it wrong, it doesn't have the effect. So we need to learn to rest, to take a pause. And really, like in my work with my clients, usually when I say, okay, when do you rest? And I say, yeah, when I sit in front of the TV, when I scroll through social media, when I sleep. This is not rest. Not really. Rest is really sitting in silence, meditating, just being really present in the moment, taking a walk in the nature. This is really rest. So this is one big problem I see in general, already years ago. But we have been better with that also, meanwhile. So the other thing is, of course, I have to say that the food we eat nowadays is not the same anymore. We also, of course, have to keep that in mind. The nutritions we usually got from our food, with this highly processed food we buy nowadays, is not there anymore. So this is also, of course, we need to keep in mind. But thinking about the change of stressors, that they are more emotional and more existential nowadays, we also see that we might have unprocessed emotions nowadays. Like from years of powering through, pursuing our goals, working our ass off, maybe this takes a toll on us now. And this is maybe why emotions get stuck in our body. Then we have, I would say, an identity crisis in modern world, especially with social media and those who work with it or are very active on it. They present themselves in a way they're not actually. They present a version of themselves they would like to be, maybe, but usually no one really presents their true self. And that can lead that you completely disconnect from yourself. I really think that we live in a world designed to connect each other, which just leads to a more disconnected, that we are more disconnected than ever before. Not only from each other, but also from ourselves. Then, of course, we have, another reason. So let's say we have all these tools, right? We know, we have seen everything on social media about how important it is to take care of our mental health and our emotions. So technically we know that. But then what to do with it? So all the self-development movement uncovered our deepest traumas. So suddenly everyone sees clearly why we have these problems with ourselves nowadays. But what then? Some people know how to deal with that. Some people know how to really heal themselves, but I think the majority does not, because we have never learned how to do that. We got no tools. Maybe many of us grew up in our households where it was not really common to express your emotions. Maybe your emotions were even punished when you got angry or sad. So we never learned how to really deal with these difficult emotions. I mean, I think every one of us knows that when our parents said, big girls or big boys don't cry, yeah, these sayings. Or be strong, what do the people say? Don't cry. I think this is something everyone can somehow relate to, depending on the generation, of course. I'm talking more about my generation. I think that is that hasn't been so much that we really were taught to express and to deal with our emotions. So this fact, of course, leads to all these internal battles we have. We see clearly what's wrong with us, and we want to fix it. And that is another problem we have, one of the bigger problems, I would say, that we want to optimize ourselves to an extent that we stress ourselves just more. So the good thing is not really a good thing anymore. It just adds to our stress level. Our stress level is anyway high all the time. We just got used to it. It's so normal to be stressed. And even if we do all the good things for us and we still struggle, then this might be the reason. Maybe we go for the wrong reasons to the gym. So always we have to ask or to question our motivation. Why do I actually want that? Why do I optimize myself? Why do I want to fix myself? So, and this mindset already creates so many stress in us because we think we're not good enough. We are not okay. There's something to fix. And this is the bigger problem, I would say. So this leads to a level of high perfectionism. Our childhood becomes a bug report. Yeah, we want to fix it. We see clearly what's wrong, as I said, and we want to fix it. Growth becomes performance. I mean, this is also something we, of course, might have learned also in our childhood, that love is deserved by performance. And rest becomes guilt. I think a lot of us know that. When you sit still and don't do anything, you feel guilty. You feel like, oh, no, I need to do something. What can I do? What can I do? Like resting, we completely unlearn to rest. Real rest. Not watching TV, not scrolling through social media. Always striving, never arriving. This is how it feels. There is nothing wrong with having goals, of course, and want to become a better version of ourselves. But we should not do it with pressure. And we should do it for the right reasons. We should take a pause and sit and just accept who we are with all our list of flaws and collection of traumas, and just say, okay, good. There is technically nothing to fix. If I want to dig into it, okay, why not? But do not do it because you want to fix yourself, because you want to correct something, because you want to be like the highly spiritual and super healed people who have been to 1,000 retreats. That's not the goal. You need to accept yourself as you are. Because worth is not a performance. Your worth is a birthright, not something you must earn. So you don't need fixing, you do not need more tools, and you don't need to become. We need to learn again that we can be. We don't need to become. Just checking the time. Yeah, good. So, self-acceptance. So now you might think, okay, am I not allowed to have any goals? You know? Am I not able to pursue happiness? Of course you are. That's totally fine. But check your motivation. If you grow from a place of self-acceptance, you can express your most authentic self. And then you actually can achieve much more than if you do it with pressure. You can compare it with learning guitar, right? Or any instrument. If you do it because you love it, because you follow your dreams, your passion, your desires, you can become a great, what's that called, guitarist. If you do it because you seek for validation, if you do it because your mom told you to, or if you want to do it because everyone else does it, that creates fear. Fear of failure. Heard of that? This is exactly what happens. If you don't do it because you really want it, then this creates a lot of tension and pressure and stress. And then you might not reach your goals. Or maybe not as fast as if you do it before with the other approach. Or you have less good outcome. So always think about that. We all know nowadays, you know, we all were pursuing, happiness and fulfillment. And I mean, this caused all this self-development movement, right? We knew, okay, I want a job, I feel fulfilled, and I want meaning in life. This caused all this, which is nothing bad. But we always need to consider, if we maybe put too much stress on ourselves by pursuing these goals. All right. So maybe you can relate to that, maybe not. So you can ask yourself, what is my motivation? Am I able to rest really? Did I find my inner light? And am I able to just let it be and let it shine bright? Thank you so much.